I'm going to read a story taken from this book, Basic Comprehension Passages. In particular, I'm going to read story number 8. Roy was always tired when he woke up in the morning. I really can't understand it, his brother said. You go to bed earlier than I do, and you get up later. I know you sleep well because you snore a lot. In fact, you sometimes keep me awake half the night. So why are you tired in the morning? It doesn't make sense. Perhaps it's because I dream so much, Roy suggested. But dreaming is good for you, his brother told him. All the doctors and psychiatrists agree about that. Maybe, Roy replied. But the trouble is, I always dream about hard work. Last night, for example, I dreamt I was a miner. I went down the mine almost as soon as I fell asleep. And I dreamt that I was digging coal all night long. I was worn out in the morning. Then, a few nights ago, I dreamt I was a sailor. I was on one of those old-fashioned sailing ships. We were crossing the Atlantic, and there was a terrific storm. We had to struggle for hours to stop the ship from going down. It's always like that. In the past few weeks, I've dreamt I was a waiter, a lorry driver, and a football player. I never have a nice, easy job. I was reading an article about sleep in a magazine the other day, his brother said. The writer's advice was, try to relax before you go to sleep. But how? Roy asked. Well, why don't you listen to some music? Something pleasant. Roy was willing to try anything. But what sort of music? He liked pop music, but that was probably too noisy. So he decided to play some classical music and, just before he went to bed that night, he put on a record of Mozart. In 15 minutes he was fast asleep. Well, his brother asked him at breakfast next morning, did it work? Roy yawned. Well, he said, I didn't dream about hard work for once. I dreamt I was conducting an orchestra. The trouble was the players weren't very good, and we had to keep on playing the same piece again and again. In the end, we practiced all night. I can tell you, I feel more tired this morning than I usually do.